Yes, we really do. We're going to start off, Roddy, with the blue Terran play. In the top right-hand side from Mouse Sports, he is Big Gabe, HeRoMaRinE.
What a day has it been for him. And let's not forget about this man in the bottom left side of Oxide. We will soon be taking a look at the main base of the man that many people consider to be the very best. It's Zest.
It is kind of crazy how little we talked about Zest in a way, you know, because we come into this group and we're talking about Trap, we're talking about Reno. Zest was last year's runner-up, and of course he's been mentioned, but he is poised to go straight to the round of 8, and I don't think anyone was really expecting that.
Yeah, I gotta give credit to Kalaras actually, because he is the one who did say multiple times throughout the last few days, I think Zest is criminally underrated, guys. Apparently he took a look at the odds or something, and apparently people don't believe that Zest can actually win this tournament. And that's a bit wild indeed, because he has been looking very good lately. I mean, even 2 days ago, I believe he won 2 online tournaments in the same day. and the most bizarre thing, Waddy, we were talking about it in some of these breaks, is that Zest is the absolute best player in the world when it comes to winning games where it looks like he didn't even play perfect, or far from that even. But he is just so damn good at winning.
He is. No, it's actually ridiculous. Like I say, I was watching him a bunch in one of my own events lately, and it's just ridiculous how he's able to win this matchup while floating more minerals than we've ever seen. Okay, it's a lie. I've seen that many minerals in my bank account before, but like, seriously, how does he do it when everyone else is macroing perfectly and Zest is, he still shows up with 3 times as much stuff? Like, there's just something about StarCraft we don't understand that Zest does.
Yep, I mean, we do know that he always has fantastic micro. That's something that we can definitely trust on him for. But even today, I mean, I saw the 2-base Blink Stalker attack he did against Dream on Manticide. He had 1100 minerals in the bank. But it's almost like Zest doesn't care. He's like, no, I don't need to spend that money. What I need to do is keep the pressure on and just make sure I don't lose any of the Stalkers. Because who cares if I'm spending money, if I'm losing units? It's better to not lose any units at all and just win. I'm like, well. And then against Raynor, sure, he was very far ahead on Jagannatha. But I'm not exaggerating. At one point, he had 2700 minerals while being deep on creep and losing his Warp Prism. And I'm like, how is this possible? But then he's like, don't worry, Roddy. I can also make Blink Stalkers +3 and storm the hell out of a Zerg army and still win 2-0. And I'm like, all right, who am I to say anything, right? Zest is truly a very special man, but he's one hell of a player to watch. Talk to me, Waddy. What do you see so far when it comes to the openings?
Yeah, I mean, Zesty goes Twilight, and then there comes a Robo Facility, right? So it definitely starts leaning towards something a little bit more aggressive from him, whether that be 4 Gates of Blink, whether that be a Dark Shrine. He really has those options open to him. HeRoMaRinE is setting up for a little bit of Marine Hellion aggression, right? So he's got an option here. What does he do with the Starport, with the Medivac? Do you take that Medivac across the map with the Marines in? Do you use it for the Hellions only? There's a few options there. There's definitely going to be some different openings. There's the Dark Shrine from Zest, so he's going to mix this up. I believe it was a Zest ruining HeRoMaRiNE's
ESL5
Templars. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's a bit of a throwback, right?
Yep, but no, that's absolutely what I think of. Because, up to that point, it was always like, yeah, Dark Shrine can work, but it's a bit hit or miss. And Zest is like, no, guys, it's not hit or miss. It just matters how you control and execute things. And you can even go Archon drop, apparently. But yeah, this is going to hit very quick, what Gabe is doing here. I think it's going to be maybe just an all-out attack in the natural, or it's just Hellions drive into the natural and a Marine drop in the main base. Like, Zest's opening has a lot of potential on the other side of the map, guys, but he doesn't have that many units. But he is building 2 shield batteries, Waddy, and that is very important for our Korean Protoss player.
Definitely a step in the right direction. Seppi needs. Nice spot on this Warp Prism. Going to take damage as it starts moving across the map. I mean, HeRoMaRinE now knows there is something on the way. So he knows to prepare at home. And now he's going to try and break through the front. Super battery is going to buy the time and is going to hold.
Hey, Zest is doing this so good so far. Like, he has 2 units, but he's not taking any damage yet. He may take damage eventually, but now actually, you can heal your pylon, Zest, and that's exactly what he does. He's gonna build a second pylon. No, he actually blocked it, I think. Or the Hellions blocked the second pylon, but we do have a defensive Dark Templar being warped in. And let's not forget about that Prism, guys, that's already in the main base of HeRoMaRinE.
No, he's attacking a refinery. Though. That's not what you want to kill, Zest. He is going to fix that now. SCVs will start to drop. The Raven's about to pop out though, Roddy. With the Cyclone, he's actually going to surround and scan as well, but the DT and the natural is still going wild.
Waddy, this is already so good for Zest. I mean, sure, he did lose 2 Dark Templars, but he has killed 9 SCVs. HeRoMaRinE needs to find some more damage over here in the main base of Zest. I love... You know what I love about Zest? Is that sometimes he makes StarCraft 2 look like a game that we can all play a little bit. As it turns out that maybe I was watching something wrong. I think I was. I don't know what's happening on my screen. But the double battery is really what makes Zest's life so much easier here.
Yeah, no, the batteries were the right call. It saved him so much trouble, and HeRoMaRinE trying to get anything possible out of this medevac still. His follow-up, by the way, Banshee tank, he's going to go for an aggressive push. He's going to hope that maybe, just maybe, he can catch Zest off guard. And in fairness, if there's one thing HeRoMaRinE has over Zest, it's an army right now.
Yep, but it is so scary to move out against Dark Templars, right? Like, you know that there is a chance you're going to lose even more workers at home. And obviously, when you move to the other side of the map, if you lose the Raven, you're going to be forced to scan over and over again. It's definitely not the start that HeRoMaRinE was hoping for, and I kind of feel that this is going to come down to an all-out attack, right? And this could very well be it. I don't think we're going to see Stim in this game. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of bio upgrades at all, Wadi. I think this is it. A Banshee, a Raven, and a tank. And I feel that all Zest needs to do is kill that Raven, and I think then he's golden.
Yep, the Raven is just going to provide so much to him here, as we do see the Archons, the Stalkers, they have the opportunity. Oh, it goes down. He gets an Archon at the very least, but the Raven is such a huge part of this.
Okay, he can build turrets. I completely forgot about that. We do have an eBay, and he brought a lot of SCVs to the other side of the map, so he's going to build a couple of turrets on this side. That's kind of cool, but I think Zest, all he really needs to do here is display patience, and I don't even think he really needs to defend this base, but it seems like he wants to do it anyway, Wadi.
Pulling the probes in as well. Here we go. The Archon's still around for a little while longer. Stalker's now taking the shots, and they're taking a lot of damage. Zest's army supply is really not standing strong at all, and HeRoMaRinE is going to be the one coming out on top of this fight. And Immortal shows up a little bit late to the party, not sure what that can add when there's Marines, a siege tank, and all the rest still here.
Do still have a minor economic advantage, of course, on the side of Zest, and he does have a battery, double battery even, and one of them is an overcharged battery at this point. Look at it, Immortal. It can tank shots for days now, even though Devil's really ugly, let's be honest. I still think it's going to be good enough for Zest as long as he can get in range of the tank. Well, he cannot get in range of the tank, and now he lost a few more probes, so maybe it's not good enough. Is HeRoMaRinE actually just stealing this game?
He might be, but now the Immortal's going to try and drop on top of the tanks, but the Prism flies into the turret. The Immortal goes down, but tank goes down. Now he blinks in. He's going to get the tank. The Banshee will fall, and that is going to be the end of HeRoMaRinE's attack. But, I mean, did he maybe do enough at the end here? What's the follow-up? What's he got in production? Anything at all?
That's the problem, though. Like, I feel like it's gonna take 2 years for Gabe to actually get Stim, get Combat Shield. I mean, he is working on +1. That was really wild, right? Because at first it shouldn't work, and then it's like, yeah, it's actually looking somewhat promising, but it's probably not gonna work. And it's like, oh my god, is it working? And then Zest is like, nah, I can still drop an Immortal on top of the tanks, and then just blink a couple Stalkers in and take care of it. Without those batteries there, by the way, at the third base, I think Zest is super dead in this game.
Yeah. Man, this was really crazy. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. I really thought maybe if like Stim was already halfway done right when that attack ended, maybe it's okay. But now look at the time Zest has to deal damage.
Yep. How many tanks do we have defensively? Do we have any tanks? I know there's a tank in production.
Must have like one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to be pretty, man. Like, that one tank is terribly out of position. And Zest is somebody who shows no regard for just a couple of Marines. So he's going to blink in the main, drops the force field on the ramp too. Zest is best. And look at those tech labs. Those look like very juicy targets. That's no combat shield for HeRoMaRinE. And that's Stim denied as well. This is absolutely looking like a Zest party.
And this is why HeRoMaRinE had to win the game with that attack across the map, because this follow-up is just so strong. While the Terran doesn't have anything, the power was in the tech units and too many of them died. He is starting to push these Stalkers back, but the damage is truly already done. 15 SCVs have fallen. And Zest is a little bit stuck in this corner. If he loses every Stalker, dare I say there's some hope for some HeRoMaRinE?
I don't know, man. This is what Zest likes to do. This is almost when he lost 6 Void Rays to Corrosive Bow on Juggernaut. It's like, is he making this a close game? And then he's like, no, you fools, I'm not. I'm just giving the fans a little bit of extra StarCraft. And we're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Gabe wants none of it. GG, Zest does win game 1. Honestly, I really feel off the back of shield batteries. And I know that sounds crazy, but if he doesn't have the shield battery in the main base in the beginning of the game and the shield battery in the natural, that bought so much time when he only had 2 adepts against the very first push, I think this would have been a completely different game, Wadi.
Yep, no, it was everything it needed to be for Zest defensively, because he did have really just nothing. It was 2 adepts and batteries. Those batteries changed absolutely everything, and even then the defense wasn't like spot on perfect, but it was enough that his damage across the map put him into that lead.
Yeah, I gotta say though, it does still take courage, right? Because when you see a command center going up on the high ground and you know the Terran player didn't open up with the Reaper, it's just a reactor first, quick factory. Like, I'm always a bit worried. I'm like, oh, I need a lot of units now defensively. And Zest is like, no, I need a Warp Prism to get to the other side of the map and warp in Dark Templars in his main base and just do more damage than he's doing to me. I mean, this man has some superb game sense.
He does indeed. As we ready ourselves for game number 2, we're going to go to Jagannatha, Roddy. It's definitely a little bit of a different map compared to the Oxide. Those tanks not going to have as many good positions to take.
You know, Waddy? Let's do a little fun game that actually has a purpose. When the game starts counting down, do you want to count down together a little bit to make sure that we're watching the same thing?
Make sure we're in sync?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course we can.
I don't know if you had the same, but I had a little bit of hiccup on my end, perhaps. But
yes, I saw a little hiccup or two. We can count down together, Roddy. That sounds like a good group exercise.
Exactly. And it's a good way to end the day as well, right? It's the final countdown. I don't know what's happening, by the way, in the other series, but obviously if the production has an update for us, I think they'll let us know, because I'm really curious about... the score between Raynor and Australia that's happening over on Harstem's channel. Apparently it's still 0-0. Big match, Waddy.
Yeah, I'm got it up on my side screen, and it's only 6 minutes in, obviously a little bit delayed on the actual stream compared to the update we've got, so it's still ongoing. Funnily enough, I was expecting Void Rays, and Australia's playing with Adept, so it looks like it's a little bit wild over there. It is so important. It can change everything. The fact that Raynor isn't even like safe out of the group and stuff, that is ridiculous. I still can't quite believe it, to be honest.
They took our countdown away, Waddy.
They did take. How are we going to count down now, Roddy?
Maybe in the game we'll count to 20 or something. Yeah, exactly. We'll figure it out. All right, guys. Game 2 is coming up between Zest and HeRoMaRinE. What we do know, if that is Zest wins this best of 3, he wins Group C, and that's a big deal. It's not all about top 3, guys. The winner gets directly seeded into the quarterfinals, and Zest, the man who made it to the finals last year, and is obviously a previous champion of the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice, is looking in very good shape to do so.
In the upper right-hand side, our blue Terran player down a game. Can he rally and make this a series? It's HeRoMaRinE.
In the bottom left side of the beautiful Jagannatha, we are going to take a look at the main base of our Korean Protoss player. He is the man that many describe as best. It's Zest.
You want to do a bit of counting, Roddy?
Yes, I see a 39, a 40, a 40.
Okay, you're second ahead of me. I'll just restart. By the sounds of it, I was going to be ahead, but no, you beat me again.
I think that's because during my little hiccup, I actually refreshed everything. So maybe that's why I beat you to it.
I'm on 57, 58. 50.
Oh, you're a second ahead of me, but we'll figure it out. It's all good, mate. It's all good.
We'll survive. We'll survive.
Yeah. It's just going to seem that you know everything that's going to happen in StarCraft, which is actually pretty close to the truth. I hate those death segments with you, Waddy. You always say the same things that I want to say. What's that all about?
I mean, I'm a second ahead, Roddy. I know what you're about.
Touché. All right, but you know what? I actually feel like I cast a lot of Gabe on this map. Most of the time he actually spawns at the bottom. I've seen so many games where he plays against Showtime with some of these other top European Protosses, and then there's always like a little bit of a scuffle in the beginning, and it stabilizes out, and it looks like the Protoss is in a fine position, and then Gabe just picks up 4 medevacs, flies into the main base, and starts dropping the main over and over again. That is something he absolutely loves to do, so I wouldn't be surprised if this actually goes into the later stages of TVP.
No, absolutely not. He does like to drop around a lot, right? And I think if anyone ends it early on Jagannatha, probably going to come from Zest again, getting aggressive. But what aggression do you really bring on Jagannatha? If anything, maybe the DTs, but you just use the DTs. Surely, surely not. And yet I feel like we've been here before.
Yes, this brings us back to TSL 5. It's like, Zest, you can't just open Dark Shrine every game. And he's like, no, I absolutely can. And I will win with it too. But he is going to switch things up for us. And we can see a Stargate being warped into the main base. Now, it is important for HeRoMaRinE that he figures this out. On the other end, he's opening 3 racks. Earlier today, we saw him play 3 racks against Trap on a Lightshade. That didn't really work out, but I also think that's a game where he just had a very unfortunate start and absolutely nothing went his way. So I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to play out this time.
Yeah, I like it. Put a bit of pressure on. I love 3 racks against the Stargate because it almost feels like, what do you do right with the Stargate? If you're banking up Phoenix at home, you're not in a good spot. If you're moving on the map aggressive with Phoenix, it feels tough to get damage done. You probably can't make too many Phoenix as well. He is going to go Oracle. I feel like I like the Oracle the most against a triple racks opener.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Worst case scenario for Zest is indeed like he goes up to 3 bases and keeps 3 Phoenixes in his main. And then he's like, oh, you've got 28 supply of Marines and Marauders with Stim. Well, I'm in a bit of trouble. I think with the Oracle, he's going to see this way ahead of time. And then I just kind of wonder how he's going to play it out. We saw Trap still just go up to 3 bases without too much fear. And obviously looked very confident and comfortable in doing so. I always think it's scary, but these guys, they just know what they're doing, man. He is making a Phoenix, though, behind this. And I wonder if he's going to cancel that once he knows that he's playing against 3 racks.
Yeah, I really wouldn't mind it because, like I say, what do you really do? You can't justify going to like too many Phoenix, and yeah, cancels it immediately, goes into the second Oracle. I think that makes the most sense. Like I say, what are you meant to do? You build 5 Phoenix, you die to the bio. If you build 2 Phoenix, you can lift up an SCV and you don't even get the one-shot kill, right? It's just not good.
No, I think it's a perfect choice by Zest, and we did just get a very important update from our lovely production crew who've been doing a great job, who are actually in Katowice, I believe, and they said Raynor 1-0. This means Raynor is safe, and this means the top 3 in this group body is set. Zest, HeRoMaRinE, and Raynor will advance. Now it's just time to figure out who's going to take first place.
Which is obviously very important. I mean, HeRoMaRinE already being down a map is kind of a little bit unfortunate in that regard as well. So, yeah, I can't remember the exact scenarios anymore, Roddy. There's too much going on, but yeah, it's really up for grabs for anyone. I mean, obviously Zest, if he just straight up wins this, he's still top of the group. Yeah.
Yes. If Zest wins the best of 3, he will always be first. I think HeRoMaRinE can win 2-1, but then Raynor needs to lose a map against Australia. I think if Raynor wins 2-0, but HeRoMaRinE wins 2-1, then I actually think Raynor takes first place in the group. But I don't know, we're getting ahead of ourselves. There's many different scenarios. The most important thing is that HeRoMaRinE, Raynor, and Zest will advance to the round of 12. And this is the very first time in Raynor's career that he makes it top 12 in Katowice. So I think that's very cool.
Yeah, maybe the start of something bigger as we do see our Oracle checking out what's up. Of course, the power of these Oracles, the revelations, the chance to just see again and again, where is that army? Are you moving out? Are you going anywhere? And of course, maybe you can get some SCV damage.
Careful, Zest.
Nice save.
Triple Oracle is quite something, right? We don't see it super often. Why do I feel like Zest is crazy enough to try to kill a missile turret? Like, you should never do that, obviously, guys, with 3 Oracles, but he might actually just go for a couple of SCVs. He has been hiding them, and he has a lot of energy. Is he going for the Marines? Oh, he activates at least a very big stim, so this army does kind of injure itself.
Yeah, it's kind of nice actually, right? At first I'm like, no, the Oracle energy, but yeah, the stim in return, it's actually definitely worthwhile. Takes the Marine health down, a little less energy that'll be on the Medivacs to follow up. It's actually a pretty big deal early on in the game.
Absolutely. Obviously, Gabe is going to try to get some value out of all of his Marines. As we can see, Zest is getting a couple of defensive stasis traps up. I mean, this is always a scary phase, I think against 3 racks, right? Like, you look at the army, and HeRoMaRiNE's army is way more powerful in a straight-up fight. But Zest's job is not to give HeRoMaRiNE that straight-up fight. Gabe does a good job in sniping the stasis trap, and here we go, Wardy. Guardian Shield is activated.
It is indeed. These Marines are going to have to lift up and back away. I love the force fields. They were actually really well placed, right? Just 2 force fields, and yet they did so much. They stopped HeRoMaRiNE properly committing in. They took away one of his better retreat paths with the right side of the army. It was perfect for Zest, right? Now he just gets away with that, and his work account's looking fantastic against a HeRoMaRiNE who's 3rd base, not even ready.
Zest made that look so easy. Like, normally you would think when you go up against that many Marines and Marauders with Stim, you need something powerful, right? Don't you need an Archon to tank, or some Immortals to deal with Marauders, or a Colossi, or at least Blink Stalkers? Zest only had basic gateway units. Yeah, he got a Guardian Shield, he had enough of them, he had 3 Oracles helping out too. And look at the amount of gateways he currently has going up. HeRoMaRiNE needs to find some damage in this game, I would say in the next 30 to 45 seconds, or he is just in a world of trouble.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely with you, mate. It's not looking too pretty. Zest is on his way to Storm as well, so he's going to go straight to that. And something which we've seen kind of trickle into EVT as of late. So it's interesting. I don't really have an opinion on it just yet. Not seen enough of it, but it is something that can work as you go up to charge as well. Just going to get him a Marauder there. It's again still Zest that's making these first couple picks. The Oracles are still looking around as well on the top side. They are looking to see if there's any opportunity. So far, answer to that is still no, but they're tracking the army, and now they're pulling the army back a little bit.
Top-notch play so far from Zest, man. Like, we always know that Zest is good, but every now and then he does a couple of silly things, and we're just like, oh, Zest, what are you doing? He's lost one Stalker and one Marine while keeping track of HeRoMaRinE throughout the entire game, picking up 60 Marines and having a better economy. Now, he's still gonna need to land a couple of good Storms, maybe go for some Storm drops, utilize that Warp Prism, but Zest is looking mighty fine so far, and I think if he just does things well, if he handles the fight, not even perfectly, but just all right, I think he's going to crush HeRoMaRinE.
Yeah, it really comes down to the engagement, but Zest has all the tools he needs. Storm ready. That's the big part. Charge about to be done as well. So he gives up one gateway, but now he really should be ready to fight. And here we go. First few Zealots start charge forward. He's still waiting for the Storms to drop out of that prism, and here they are. I love where he places them, putting them behind the bio. And boy, is he getting damage done. Now the Libs are getting some damage done as well, but that's also the end of the tanks. And with a few extra Zealots trickling through, Roddy, what really is there here from HeRoMaRinE? A few Marauders are doing okay, but there's also that Immortal in the back. Once that gets involved, there really is nothing left for HeRoMaRinE. He sieges a tank, that's very committed, because now that's going to go down as well.
HeRoMaRiNE's army is Medivacs, and that's simply not good enough. GG, Zest with the fist bump, and that's a well-deserved fist